Miles, obviously challenging times for everybody right now. What's the current situation with you guys who are working towards getting the spaceport for Cornwall up and running?
Yeah, massively challenging times. And of course, there's some real concerns around people's health, colleagues, family that we're obviously very aware of. But obviously, we're continuing. So we're fortunate that the project is a sort of a brought to the desktop stage. So our change to working from home and staying safe at home hasn't really in any way changed what we're doing. We're adapting. We're doing some different things, but we're very busy working towards that license application next year. So we were doing that at what we call desktop anyway. So some things we're not doing, but we're just bringing other things forward. So we're pretty busy.
So there's that commitment to be up and running with a horizontal launch spaceport at Cornwall Airport, Newquay by 2021. What are you guys currently working on to make sure that happens? And do you envisage there being any delays because of the current pandemic?
Yeah, I mean, the key for us, obviously, two key next stages. We need to look at the infrastructure of the airport relating to the operation of the large aircraft from Virgin Orbit, the Boeing 747. So we're doing some really good design work around the needs at the airport around strengthening taxiways and runways and things like that. So that's a key piece of work that's going on. So at some stage in the autumn, we can be able to commission that work and do those infrastructure works ahead of the licensing. And the other key piece is all the work required to get the spaceport license. So we're doing some work on the environmental impact, on economic impact work, some commercial and legal work as well. So, and all that leads into the license application as planned next year. The critical thing for us is that we need the right legislation in place from UK government. So that is key, and obviously that could be delayed by the current health crisis. So, and we know the government's priorities are in the right place, looking after us and the healthcare system. That's absolutely right. So, if there's a fallout from anything, it'll probably be likely in terms of the delay in legislation, but not envisioning that to be massive and not critical at this stage. So, probably maybe 3 months or so delay in that process. But this is a long-term project. We've been at it 5 years already, so 3 months or maybe 6 months in this current crisis is understandable, and we think the government need to concentrate on what's the priority today.
And we know that you've always said that public consultations and getting feedback from residents has been quite important to you guys. Obviously, you can't hold these consultation events right now. Do you have plans in the future to continue to do these?
Of course, we're not going to do any sort of mass gatherings or direct face-to-face consultations at this stage. We're pretty active online, so we're contactable by email or through our social media channels if anybody has any concerns, and that we're always open to that. So we're not gone away. We may be at a desk at home rather than desk in County Hall. We're still there. And when we do come to plan, if those are still at stages where we're locked down, we can maybe do those in different ways. We're all finding different ways to work these days, aren't we, regarding online. So if we do have to do that work, and in fact those weren't envisaged until next year, so we'll be doing some direct consultation around the license application, the spaceport license application next year. So at the moment we're planning for those to happen, hopefully a traditional way, because it's really important in our mind, to get back to at some stage when it's right and when the government guidance says so, it's back to some normality. And those face-to-face contacts are really important and really valuable, particularly with local residents. So we'll find ways to keep in touch and consult when necessary.
Now, your partner in this is Virgin Orbit. Do you have any concerns with the situation that the Virgin Group find themselves in at the minute?
Starting right at the top, I mean, clearly the economy of the UK and the global economy is a massive concern to us. We hopefully it is in good hands with the UK government doing the right sort of intervention, supporting companies and people through this process. But of course, those things are not in our control. And to some extent, the wider Virgin Group, obviously we're working directly with our partner Virgin Orbit. I think what's really critical is in the US, they have been deemed to be critical and essential activity in terms of their launch provision. So they're continuing with their launch team, are continuing with their test program. We expect the first commercial orbital launch to happen within months. So that's where we're focused on. Virgin Orbit's plans for the program. They are part of the Virgin Group, but it'd probably be wrong of me to make comment on that. That's in other people's hands and certainly not in my control. So when those things fall into place, then we will only can react to those when they occur. But with unprecedented times, massive challenges, so we can only really react at the moment to knowns. And what we do know is Virgin Orbit's test program is going really well in the US, we think that will go through, and that won't therefore prejudice them coming to our spaceport in the future. And all the plans we're doing with them are not on hold, so we're almost daily process of the preparation plans to bring that system to the UK in late 21 or early 2022.
So on a global scale, we've been hearing recently that Elon Musk has launched several hundred satellites so far, and that's set to eventually reach around 12,000. Would it be fair to say that actually you have a lot of confidence in this industry and the future of it, especially right here in Newquay and Cornwall?
Of course we believe that. That's why we wanted to pursue spaceport as an opportunity in the first place for Newquay and Cornwall in the UK. If you look at a lot of the data we're getting back in terms of the medical data on COVID-19, a lot of that data is space-based data. There's the application I was reading about this week around people who've got immunity, and that's a space-based data in terms of our mobile phone coverage. So I think space has got a massive role to play, both now in the current crisis, but beyond, when we adapt and change behaviour. So we don't have none of these. So absolutely, we believe in the use of low Earth orbit satellites for monitoring what we do and monitoring the planet. And I was seeing some amazing graphs regarding some of the pollution over Europe, which was space-based data around some of the reduction in travel and pollution from industry around the crisis and the lockdown. So we believe both the whole space and data industry is a massive potential for Cornwall. That's not just about spaceport, that's about all the work we're doing around with the Earth Station and other partners in the data community who are looking at using space-based data to make some more productive work more efficiently, and I think that's got a huge part to play. So challenging times, but we certainly think that space and spaceport are going to be a massive part of Cornwall's future beyond the crisis, and certainly we need projects like this, in my view, to look at beyond this and look at beyond into a new economy as we move, because things are going to be very different when we come out the back of this.